Hello, welcome to Temple Baptist Church, Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. We're going to bring a devotional this morning. We're going to be in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 6. I'm going to read verse 11 to you. I'm going to encourage you to read verses 1 through 12, and it'll really give you the background of what Nehemiah is saying here in verse 11. And I said, should such a man as I flee? And who is there such as I who would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. What's happening here? They are trying to distract Nehemiah from rebuilding the temple. That's what it is. And so just imagine the builders that we've had, some of the world's most iconic structures. Just think about some of them. If they become busy with other things and stop working on that project, if Nehemiah had stopped here working on the project, the temple wouldn't got rebuilt again, and they wouldn't be complete. The Great Wall of China wouldn't be so great. Then the point to the Great Pyramids, it wouldn't be there. The Sphinx wouldn't have never lost his nose because it never had one. They just didn't finish the job. They didn't do it, but they did. Those are things that I talked about. They're finished. They were great works of art. But so here we have attempts to discourage Nehemiah from rebuilding the walls, and continued up until it was completed. They didn't just do it for a little while. They done it until it was completed. Except all that was left here was the installation of the doors. That's all he liked, and so his enemies were, like I say, unrelenting. They were unrelenting, but he would not fall for their tactics. You look at this. Chapter 6, and some of the things they're trying to do there, he's not going to fall for their tactics, not going to be distracted from his task, he was not intimidated by lies and deception. A lot of times that'll get us off track all of a sudden, won't it? We'll be off track before we know it, focused on something, and then before you know it, something's got our attention over here, something's got our attention over there, and we're here and there. I heard it said one time, if the enemy can't make you bad, he'll make you busy. Okay? Think about that a little bit. Instead of focusing on what God wants us to do, the old devil will get us to focusing on things of the world, things that don't do any good for us. So, that enemy that we're faced with is crafty when it comes to distracting us from what God has called us to do. The enemy is cunning and will use everything at his disposal. And he has a lot of things out there to call us away from God's purpose and his best for us. That's what Satan does today. He can't touch your soul. He can't take you to hell, but he can sure distract you. He can sure put a lot of things out there in front of you. Now, the enemy seeks to destroy, but God is in the business of creating something new. When you're saved by the grace of God, old things are passed away, all things become new. So, but a lot of times, and with the hustle and bustle of the world today, things going on and all that, it's very easy for us to lose focus on God's plan. Had Nehemiah fell for the trickery that was being done to him, he would have not finished the job. He would not have finished it. And, what distracts you today? I have things that distract me. I'm not going to tell you that. I don't. There's things that distract me. And so, how are we going to combat the things that pull you away from him and his best for you? Well, the best advice we have is his word. The more we stay in his word, the less likely we are to be distracted. I'm saying we won't be, because we're still in humanity, but let's focus real hard on taking care of what God has called us to do. We invite you to our services here at Temple. We meet on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock for our first worship service. And we have Sunday school classes at 9. And then our second worship service on Sunday morning is 10 o'clock. We meet on Wednesday nights at 7, Sunday night at 6. And come be a part of those services. May God bless you is our prayer.